nervous for this video. Not gonna lie. Breathe and let's go. Hey beautiful people, what's going on? Hope you're doing amazingly well, hope you're staying safe and healthy, and hope all your friends and family are well as well. I wasn't sure about when or what or how or why this video came about. Well, I kind of do, but I think it's just been a really hard week for me. It's been really difficult and I wanted to share that aspect with you, seeing as my platform encompasses different things, especially about just being yourself and communicating and having that nice community, that place to go to. I thought it would be beneficial to do this video and to share with you what I've been going through and just have that moment with you. And yeah, I'm a bit nervous, so I do apologise. Past few days, I've not been feeling myself at all. I've been feeling quite low, quite down, and just really not myself. But it's been to the point where I feel bad when I'm not myself. That I feel when I'm in those low moments, I feel guilty that I'm even thinking that. It's a bit of a weird one. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes, especially since January. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of experiences going on, and it's been a bit of a journey to get to where I am now, where I'm feeling, obviously not today, but just a few days before this all came about, that I was at my best self and I felt really good about things and really positive. And then we come to now where I've now sunk back into it. The thing is that since I was younger, I've struggled a lot with making sure people in my life are happy and that I'm doing things for them that are making them happy, which I know is a burden, and nobody should feel like that you have to make somebody happy, because only you yourself can do that. But I've just put myself on this platform since I was really young, that people that are part of my life, that are in my life, they deserve all that happiness, and I want to make them happy. Like, I want them to feel happy about life and themselves and feel happy that they've got me, like feel happy that they have that person. But when these friendships break down or relationships break down or people say things or you see things, because of that, it breaks things down really hard. It comes back 10 times worse to me. Like, the knockback is such full impact and I just break down, and it's just a lot to take on for myself, and I know that, and it really breaks me, and it really releases a lot of emotions that I don't like feeling at all. I mean, ultimately I just believe that everybody deserves to be happy. Every single person in this universe deserves to be happy, and if I can play a part in that, I will. And that's a lot for a person to do, and I know that, but it's just something that I've grown up with. It's something that's just in me and that I just can't help. And just when these things happen, I obviously get upset, I get really down, and it really breaks me and makes me feel really fragile. Nowadays I'm a bit more prepared when these circumstances happen, so I kind of know things to do to help me benefit that, where I just feel more in control of handling these situations. Years ago I didn't have a Scooby-Doo on what to do. It would normally end up for like a few days just being down and just not really figuring out anything, just letting it run its course, I guess. But now it happens where it's more in a certain amount of time that I can do it and feel better and start healing, if that makes sense. I'm going to be honest with you now. A few years ago, I was at that point where I just didn't want to be here anymore. I just felt to that point, and this wasn't the first time I'd felt it. That was probably the lowest I'd felt it, but there were times before when I'd feel like disappearing, not being in this world anymore. I just put myself on that pedestal and I just thought it would just be better if I wasn't here anymore. Nobody would care, nobody would acknowledge it, because I'm just a person. I'm just somebody that nobody really cares about, nobody would miss, if that makes sense. At this time, I was away from friends and family, so people who I did have a close bond with were not there, and that obviously put me more in that place of I don't want to be here anymore. And it's obviously really sad thinking about it, and it's probably really hurtful to a lot of people, but that's really how I felt. I didn't want to be here anymore. I just feel like for me that there's always somebody else that someone else sorry. There's always somebody else that someone chooses. Like, if there's a choice between me and another person. They always choose that other person. And I know that sounds really silly to say, but that's how I've always felt. I just felt like I've just felt like I've never really had that companion, not necessarily a relationship or friendship kind of thing, but just somebody that's just there, like that person that you can just go and do things with and just have that time with, and you know that they're just there for you, they're solely there for you. Yes, I'm appreciative of all my friends and family, like my god, like I love them all to bits and I love everything that they do for me, and I'm so grateful and appreciative that they're in my life. Like, holy, I know how amazing my life is and that I've got that. But there are those times when I feel like that I don't have that, because all those members of family and friends have all got somebody else. Like, they've got a partner, they've got that friend, they've got that soul companion that they can go to, whereas I've never really had that. I've never really experienced it. I mean, obviously I have experienced it, but even in a sense that it's really hard to explain, but it's just having that person that's there. I feel like that I don't always necessarily have that. That's why when I get knocked back hard, really, really hard. The last thing I want for this video is for this to be a woe is me moment or a pity moment. For goodness sake, no, not at all. But I think it's just having that moment of acknowledging what I'm feeling, because I know people are going through so much worse at the moment. I know people are going through really horrible, terrible times. People are struggling, like families, loved ones. A lot is going on for a lot of people right now. And sometimes I think you can feel, if you're not feeling bad about them, then like, what's wrong with you kind of thing. But then at the same time, I feel like if you can't acknowledge your feelings first, you can't acknowledge other people's feelings. And that's where, once you've established that, that's when it all starts. You start feeling appreciative and grateful, and you start sort of bouncing back to how you were before, feeling a bit better about things and remembering how amazing your life already is despite all the circumstances going on. You need the positive with the negative, because it's not a balanced life if you don't have both. You need that element of the silver lining, the light at the end of the tunnel when you've gone through the bad things, because then that puts you at your peak, that puts you at your most amazing, incredible self, and that's what everybody should feel and everybody deserves for themselves. And it's okay to be that type of person and to say to yourself, yeah, today I'm really not feeling myself, I'm really not feeling great at all. The past few days I've not been feeling my best at all. Like, bits of my past have cropped up and it's led to me feeling these horrible negative things. It's really made me feel and putting myself down a lot, which I used to do a lot when I was younger. I don't do it very much now, but obviously I've been doing that for the past few days. I've just been really hard on myself. I kind of feel like that if I did let these feelings in, it would be those feelings getting to me. But I just think that really it's not letting it win, but letting it in, like letting yourself be angry and upset and to scream and shout however long you need to. Like, it's important to open yourself up to that when you feel like you really need to do it. Otherwise it's just an absolute mess when you try and contain it, and it just does nothing for you. It really doesn't. It just makes you feel even worse, like 10 times worse than before. Once you let those feelings in, that's the first stage of getting stronger. That's the first stage of being determined to get back to being your best self. Going through all those emotions, it's all going to lead to an outcome. It's all going to enable you to be amazing and feel amazing and have that self-worth and self-love that you fully deserve, and that I know that I fully deserve. If you do have any of those emotions, like, talk to somebody, write it down, talk to yourself about it. Do not let it consume you, because at the end of the day, here's what it all comes down to. It's really okay to not be okay. It really is. With these emotions that have really got to me this week, I felt them many a times before, and it impacts me greatly. It makes me feel really down on myself. It increases my social anxiety. I find it really difficult to build friendships and relationships with people sometimes, because once people have already affected my trust and they have already broken me down, it takes me a lot to get marching back up those stairs again and make me feel that I can trust somebody, like I can be that little bit vulnerable, that I can take those steps to let people in. Like it's really difficult for me, and it's becoming more difficult as time goes on. If people aren't talking about these things, if people aren't saying what's wrong with them, or they're not posting it on social media, or they're not messaging you about it, my goodness, it does not mean that they are not going through it themselves. It probably means that they are going through it, they have been through it, they just don't want to tell people, they don't want to let everybody know what's going on, and that's absolutely fine. And you don't always need to tell the details of what's going on, but you just need to have that element of telling somebody that I'm not feeling okay today. You don't need to go into details about why. Sometimes it does help, but you do need to talk to somebody. You need to have that little weight off your shoulders. Otherwise, it just completely takes over you. This very likely isn't the first time you felt like this, and it's probably not going to be the last time you feel like this. But I just wanted to share that thing with you, that you can get over the bad times as I'm doing right now. You will overcome them, and you will come out 10 times stronger than what you ever thought you would be. You're allowed to have those days of feeling rubbish. You're allowed to have those days of being down. You are allowed to have those days. Like, of course, like that's how you make up your whole persona and really feel great about things and about life. And just know that it's not a permanent thing. It's not something that is always going to be with you. It will gradually improve and you will start to feel better. I've been in this scenario so many times before, and does it get any easier? Not necessarily. It just depends on the type of context. Sometimes you feel like you can cope with things, other times you feel like you can't, but it's just finding what works for you and what steps you want to take to make yourself feel better. I think it's really important to just have a day of just calm and not doing a lot and just reflecting and just having a you time. And that doesn't necessarily mean being a busybody and doing everything that you can, but it's just giving yourself that time and that rest, because we all deserve that. You know, ultimately, what really matters is that when you come out of that other end, you're at the start of the next chapter. You're letting in that hope that there is a possibility for you to be all right again, and for you to be open to having those opportunities to start your next chapter and keep going. That's all I ask of you, is just to keep going. Know that this will get better, and know that this won't last forever. I think once you're there and once you let the hope come in, that's when you can really fully move on and start your next chapter and just feeling back to yourself again. I have those moments as well. Like, yes, I'm positive and optimistic as much as I possibly can be, but I also have those times where I just need people to talk to. I just need that time for myself. I just need a moment to just collect my thoughts and just be on the road to being okay again. There's so many experiences that I've been through. There's so many things that I've had. Maybe I'll share them one day. Maybe not obviously too much at once, like, you know, taking the little steps, because I feel like it's important that people know that they're not alone. Like, you know, you're not alone. Like, other people are, have been, will be in the same boat as you right now. So if you are feeling this way, I'm so sorry that you are going through this. I hope that you start feeling better really soon. I hope that this video has helped, but ultimately the only person that can help you get through all these bad negative things and these experiences is yourself, and that takes time. But there's no time limit to things. Don't feel like that you have to be okay within a couple of days or in the next hour after watching this video. You have to be like, right, I'm absolutely fine. That's not reality at all. Just know that you will get through this and you will be fine. I know I'll get through this and I'll be fine, and it will make me ultimately 10 times stronger. I'll be 10 times more positive, 10 times more optimistic, and it's not just my heart that's going to be stronger, but my head as well. It's all going to be a great thing, and it's going to be amazing. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. That's all I've got to say really, but thank you so much for watching if you're here right at the end, and I will see you guys very soon. Take care.